Oh, that's not a question.
You guys know that country song by Brad Paisley, Waiting on a Woman? But seriously.
Pretty comfy there. Your tongue's gonna be dry.
Yeah, whatever.
Get up from their nap.
Whatever.
It looks like we're at a resort.
We are.
This is the rock climbing wall.
All right, so we've had a lot of questions. A lot has changed in our lives in the past week, 2 weeks.
So if you're fairly new to our channel, then you're probably wondering what the heck is going on.
Well,
So are we.
I recently finished my obligation with the Navy, so I am no longer active duty. I am transitioning to the reserves. And the cool thing about the reserves is you can pick where in the world you want to live. Well, where in the United States you want to live. So we moved back to
Missouri. So if you're a reservist, you can't live outside the country?
I don't know how that works.
Huh. I didn't even think about that.
Me neither.
So yeah, we are in Missouri now. Moved here from Beaufort, South Carolina, and we were excited about a nice, mild summer, but it's hotter than Hades.
Yeah, it's hotter here than it is back home in Beaufort, South Carolina. It's crazy.
Dang it. So anyway, yeah, we're here in Missouri. We actually moved in with my parents because our plan is to sell our house in South Carolina, which has not happened yet.
It hasn't sold yet. It's been on the market for 84, 85, 86 days.
Something in there. Yeah, not good. We've had a lot of showings, but no bites. So, unfortunately, that hasn't sold yet, but that has to happen before we either purchase a house here in Missouri or build. Most likely build. That answers a lot of questions that people have about.
That's the majority.
Like, why are you living with your parents?
You moved in with your parents?
Yeah, how long are you going to live with your parents?
Mm-hmm.
So the answer is we don't know.
Hopefully forever. This is great.
Yeah, right.
We have about the same amount of square feet living at your parents' house of just like our room as our house back in South Carolina.
Yeah, there have been several requests to do a house tour, which I think would be fun.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Once we get the house in order.
Yeah, if we clean the house.
Yeah. It's a really neat house, and the area that we live in is the lower level, but it's like a walkout basement onto the lake. So this whole lower level has 4 rooms. So Lyndall and Bear each have their own room. We have a bedroom and there's a workout room. And then there's like a mini kitchen down here too. So we have everything we need down here to pretty much live without going upstairs at all. And it's working really well. We've lived here before. We did rotations our last year of optometry school where we went to a bunch of different practices, and one of the rotations was actually at the place that we're working now. And I hear Rusty.
Yeah. If you can hear a horse in the background, it's our dog.
So we lived here for 8 weeks while we did that rotation, and it was right before we got married down here. So we knew it would work well. We obviously didn't have the kids then, but...
Hey, bud.
So yeah, that's where we are.
So with that being said, we both joined the same private practice.
We're both eye doctors.
So we have the same boss, however, we're going to be in 2 separate clinical locations.
Yeah, it's a private practice that has 5 locations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5.
Yeah. So I'm going to be at 2 locations, and I'm only working Mondays and Fridays, and then a half day on Thursday afternoons. So that's my schedule.
All right. And I'm only starting out 3 days a week, and then right now I'm going to look in for fill-in work. But I'm also doing the reserve thing, so that'll take up a weekend and 2 weeks.
Yep. So along the lines of going back to work, I'm excited to kind of change up the routine a little bit, but a little bit apprehensive as well. I will continue breastfeeding if that still works, and that means I'll have to take my pump equipment to work and pump probably 3 times a day at work on Mondays and Fridays, and then probably just once in the afternoon on Thursdays. So if you are a breastfeeding mom and have pumped at work, please give me any tips or advice that you have in the comments below, because I've never done this before and I'm nervous because Lyndall got a couple of bottles in a row yesterday, and then it seemed like she was having trouble like switching back and forth. So we're going to try to pace feed.
It's hard to say because she was just having a bad day.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was just me, you know, creating a problem in my mind, or if she really was having a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's the plan for work.
And we found a nanny. She's currently with a family right now whose children have all reached school age, so they're letting her go. So we got lucky enough to snag her up, and she'll start in August. So until then, Barb will take the kids on the 2 days a week that we work.
Mm-hmm. And there have been some questions.
Hashtag Team Barb.
Yeah, there have been questions about how come we aren't just having mom watch the kids, and that's a great question. That would be ideal, but we both agree that we don't want my mom to have to work. Like, we don't want her to have to babysit the kids because we want her to be a grandma and enjoy them. So that's our goal, is to not depend on her to watch them. We want her to just enjoy them and be a grandparent.
That's right.
And it helps the kids get used to somebody else, and I think it's good for them.
Yeah, totally.
Plus my mom is very busy, very involved in the church, and helps my dad run his business. That's another question. My dad owns his own business. He is in the gasket business, which is the rubber seal that you see on the inside of a refrigerator door. So he has a nationwide company that replaces commercial refrigeration gaskets and runs that out of our house. And my mom is his bookkeeper, secretary, CEO, CFO, COO.
She's standing right there.
Yeah, I'm looking at her right now. And she quits like once a day.
Yeah, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have your phone and pull up some questions?
Okay. How has your relationship changed since becoming parents, and how do you juggle or find time for each other with 2 newborns?
Yeah, for like the first 4...
That's from Corinne.
Rachel was all worried, like the first 4 months, like, we're not spending any time together, we're always with the children, like, we haven't gone out on a date. I think that's just how it is for like the first 5-6 months, especially with twins.
Yeah, I've learned that. Yeah. I mean, you can prioritize having just like a few minutes together a day, but it's not easy for that.
We started a book where we write love letters to each other.
Mm-hmm, that helps.
Yeah. And now that we moved in with Dennis and Barb, and the kids actually go to sleep at 6:30 and stay asleep, like last night we went out to
our clubhouse and
had an app and a drink and came home.
Yeah, so it's easier now. A lot of people were like, why can't you just hang out with each other after the kids go to bed? Well, if you've had a newborn, their bedtime is kind of all over the place for a while. There's not really much you can do to get them on a schedule. They're just a free-for-all. Until they're about 4 or 5 months, they go to bed fairly late.
And you're exhausted.
And you're just so tired. you or me, or we.
Both.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's until 4 or 5 months things weren't stable enough for us to like even be able to do anything after they went to bed.
Right.
So, but now it is.
Yeah, our relationship's getting back to normal now.
Yeah, and now we can just get a babysitter that basically just watches the monitors, and then no biggie, we get to put them down
pretty easy
by 6:30, and then we have the rest of our evening to hang out with each other. It's great.
Yeah.
What app does Rachel use to keep up with milestones and things? Milestones, I guess Wonder Weeks is what I use. That hits on milestones, but it also hits on like developmental leaps where their brains grow and learn new skills and things. So Wonder Weeks is what I use. Want to know if either one of the babies prefer one of you over the other?
No, we try to do a good job where, because I give Lyndall her bottle before she goes to bed, like Rachel will bathe her and then I'll bathe Bear. So we like try to equal out which one works with each baby.
Yeah, It's kind of hard though, because like with the routine that we have, it almost always falls where you end up putting Lyndall down, because I'm breastfeeding Bear and it takes longer, and she's ready for bed sooner.
Right.
So, I mean, more often than not, you end up just putting her all the way down. But if there's ever an opportunity that I get to put Lyndall down, I do it. She's pretty independent, so putting her down is a lot less involved than Bear. Bear likes to snuggle and read books and things before bed, and Lyndall does not.
Yeah, it's funny how opposite they are.
They're very opposite. But as far as preferences, they definitely like prefer, if Lyndall's upset, almost nobody can get her calmed down besides us two. So there is a preference there, but between you and I don't think there's a preference that the babies have. As far as cloth diapers, do you have specific brands or prints you gravitate toward more? Yes, we use the Bum Genius with the Velcro most frequently.
Right.
They're just the easiest.
But then what's the brand with the slit at each bottom and top?
Lullaby.
Lullaby
Baby has, where you put the inserts in, it has an opening at each side, so they come out easy. They come out of the diaper easier in the wash, and they're easier to stuff with the inserts. Exactly. So we like those. And
they have color-coded snaps, so it's even when you put it on.
Yeah, and you know what setting they're on based on how big they are, so there's no guesswork with snaps, which is why we like the Velcro, because, I don't know, you can end up on the wrong snap and it's too tight or too loose.
We have to hurry.
I know.
Battery's dying.
Have you had to switch up your wash routine now that you're using a different washer? No,
not at all.
It's actually easier because the washer is a high efficiency machine, and it will put the exact right amount of water in, so we don't have to guess on the load size.
Yeah, it's awesome. Way better.
Are there ones you prefer on Bear versus Lyndall?
Cloth diapers?
Yeah. Just at nighttime.
And we stuff, like with Bear's diaper, we stuff the front more, and then with Lyndall's, we stuff the back more.
Yeah, and then we're putting more inserts into Bear's.
But like not a certain brand for either.
For Melanie, when you try and conceive again, will you go back to South Carolina? Will you implant both again, or one at a time? One at a time.
Definitely one at a time.
And we haven't decided about the next transfer. It's going to be a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before we even think about it.
I honestly think it'll be probably when Lyndall and Bear are like school age.
But if we find a great clinic, like I'm sure there's great clinics in St. Louis and Columbia and Kansas City.
Maybe
so we'll probably ship the embryos to a local clinic.
Are you going to do baby-led weaning? Yes. There's a few things that have to happen before you can start baby-led weaning. Like the babies have to be able to sit unassisted, they can't have the tongue thrust reflex, and they have to be able to do the pincher with their fingers. And we're getting close to those, but we're not there. So when they hit 6 months, I'm going to start feeding them like pureed baby food that I make. Probably like bananas, sweet potatoes, avocado, and just try some different things. But once they're old enough and have the skills to do baby-led weaning, we're definitely going to do that.
For sure.
If we're having twins, that's not a question. Would love to hear their weight and height right now.
We don't know their height, do we?
No, we don't know their height.
We just weighed them yesterday.
Lyndall's 13 pounds and Bear is almost 16 pounds.
14.
Yeah,
right?
So now there is about 3 pounds difference between them.
And you can feel it. Like when you pick up Bear and then pick up Lyndall, it's like her head's going to hit the ceiling.
Yeah, so there's a huge size difference, but she's just really petite, so that's why.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that made it all.
All right. Hit that subscribe button if you want to keep following us on our journey. We are going to keep vlogging, and they're going to be more fun because we're going to get on the water a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. As soon as it cools down.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
And we will see you probably tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.